Hey Flosstube, Robin, Thrifty Artist Stitching. Today is Saturday, January 31st, and it's been a little over a week since my last video, so this is working out good that I get to film a video more often than, every month or 6 weeks or whatever. I don't have a whole lot to show, but I wanted to give like a end of January recap. Because I was able to get a lot of stitches in this month, more so now that I'm retired. I know y'all are gonna get tired of hearing me say that, but it is what it is. But anyway, I got a few projects. I think I had 4 whips, maybe 5. Got some haul, got a few plans, a couple shout outs. Don't have a whole lot of notes. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, but that's okay. I hope everybody's warm. I know it's been cold, a lot of snow, a lot of ice, a lot of power outages. Very thankful here in Florida. Even though it's cold here, we haven't had any power outages, no snow yet. I live in the panhandle up, across below Alabama, Georgia. I'm on the Gulf right there. So last year, this time it snowed. We had 8 inches on the ground last year, and was very unusual. This year, we got a few flurries here and there the last week during that last ice storm. I couldn't think of the word I was trying to say. But it's very cold. I know cold is relative, so, what's cold to me in Florida probably is a piece of cake to some people, especially in your, upper in the New England and Midwest and out, whatever. It's cold to me. Normal temperatures this time of year is down in the 40s at night, up in the 60s during the day. Today's high is 38 with a wind chill that feels like 25. It's cold. The wind's blowing 25 miles an hour. I keep looking out the window because the palm trees are just swaying in the wind because it is very cold. So that was a good time to stay in and do a floss tube and stitch because I am not going out in the wind and the cold. So I'm a wimp. So anyway, all right, let's get started. I have first whip I'm going to show you is on my big scroll frame because it's huge and I need to get it out of my way because it's very heavy. And I know if you watched last video, then you saw the painting fairy. It's right here. You can't see it yet. But anyway, the first whip is called, what is that? I don't even know the actual name. Yin Yang Earthly Friends by Heaven and Earth. Artwork by Malcolm Watson. If I can get it without a glare. There we go. And I'm stitching this on 18 count, 2/1 full cross. And I have put in a total of 6,800 stitches this month, not just this week, this month, which brings my total to 10,500, and it is gorgeous. Is it? Yeah, you don't need anything behind it. So you can see how big the scroll frame is. Let me prop it on this table and beside me, and I'll bring my camera down just a little bit. Hold on, make you drunk. Hold on. There we go, better. Okay, better. Now I don't have to hold this thing up. I can prop it on my table and my arm. Get a little closer. So I worked all in here. I tried to get in all the ninja stitches filled in on his head, his body. I think everything is done through here. I got a little bit right here on his beak left, and then right under his beak, and then this is a lot of blue water. I got tired. Oh, look, I got a needle sticking out. Oh, well, that's where I was. So I put in 6,800 stitches this month. This last week, I think I put in probably about 1,500, 2,000. I don't remember. I'm trying to do 500 a day, that's hard. But I get up early. My husband's retired also. He sleeps a lot later than me. I'm usually up still. My body still thinks I got to get up and work. So it thinks I'm supposed to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So usually by 5, I'm up. So from 5 to 8-ish, I have about 3 hours of nice quiet time, which I love. I love the early morning quiet. So I come in my craft room. This is on its scroll frame, on the floor stand, and I just stitch and watch Flosstubers. So I get caught up. I'm still very, very far behind on my Flosstubers because Flosstubers, y'all prolific. There's lots of videos. So I'm trying to watch them all. But every time I think, okay, I've watched so-and-so this week, and then I think, okay, and then the week rolls around and there's another video, which I love it. I love all of them. I won't say I watch all of them, but I watch a lot of them. So anyway, I love it. So I just stitch and watch Flosstubers. I do listen to books on, like audiobooks occasionally, but I haven't done that in a long time. I did one not too long ago, but it wasn't a very good one. So kind of lost interest in that. But anyway, back to this. So this is at 10,500 total stitches out of 322,000 plus. So while it's looking great, it's gonna be big. It's on 18 count, and I think it is on 25 count. On 25 count, the measurements are 26 by 26, and it's a round. So I think it's going to come to about, hang on, let me put it this way a little bit. Oh, back up. I think it's going to come to about right here and to about probably about right here. So it's huge. So I can't wait. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to do 500 stitches a day. Some days I didn't do that. Some days I got more. Some days I got 600. It just depends on all this, skip one, stitch two, skip two, stitch one, skip one, stitch one, skip one, skip two. But anyway, a lot of this is, and this is like 3 different colors of blue. So I have to really go kind of row by row. I would like to do it like Anne, the Max Color Stitcher. If you watch her video, she does a 10 by 10 block. The grid lines on this is very faint. This is kind of a creamy yellow. It's not showing up, but there are grid lines on it. I don't know if you can see it. Hang on, I'm gonna prop it. It's heavy. Yeah, you can see the grid lines on it, but it's very faint. The fabric's creamy, and the grid lines are kind of a goldy color. So they're kind of hard to see. So I can't really go grid by grid. Somebody did ask me in a Facebook group if this. Hold on, something's about to fall off the table. If this actually holds things as tight as like the commercials or the Facebook ads they show. It does. I'm gonna back it up so you can see that's drum tight. Now in the middle, it is just a tad looser. You can't really, right there, you can see it's a little looser than it is like right here on the edges, but not much. It's enough, and you can tighten it. These tighten up. Oh, that was just a clip I had. I was doing something else with it. It doesn't hold anything on here. But this, once you tighten these up, this just it's drum tight. And I do occasionally just give them a little twist if I feel like this is loosening up, especially right here in the middle. But this fabric is 36 inches wide. My scroll bars are, I can't get it on the picture. There we go. It's 150 centimeters, whatever that is in inches. I think it's 60 inches is what it is. I think that's what it is. But yes, it's very tight. So, and I parked a few threads, not much. I don't like parking. I confuse myself when I park, but I didn't want to count too far away, and I was trying to fill in stuff, so I was just parking those out of wave threads. So anyway, this is my focus piece, definitely. Since it's on my scroll frame, it's on my floor frame, I'm trying to just leave it. And I do have 3 other projects on scroll frames like these that I haven't worked on them this month. Maybe one I did, but I don't know. But I'm trying to do this as a focus piece. But the best part about this is I can just take this off the frame, put the other one on the frame. I've got enough scroll bars that I bought when I bought the floor frame that I can have 4 projects on the frame, on the scroll bars, and I don't have to take them off, put them back on, things like that. So very fortunate. That was my Christmas / retirement present to myself and for my husband, of course. He didn't buy it. I just told him, hey, guess what you bought me? Huh? Which, you know, after 40, how long have we been married? 41 years? I think it'll be 41 years in April. You just buy yourself a present and tell him what he bought it you. And he's like, okay, cool. Hope you like it. You know, so that's the way it goes. But anyway, this is my focus whip for this year. See how much I can get done. I would love to get it all done, but I don't think I can get 322,000 stitches done in a year. But we'll see. I'm anxious to see what progress will be in December versus now in January. So, all right, let me put this down. Let me get the other whips and we'll go from there. Hold on. Okay, let me just lean that where it's at. Okay. Whew, that thing's heavy. If anybody's considering buying one, I do have an affiliate link down below. I don't know. They gave me an affiliate link. I have no idea what it, you just click on it. It doesn't cost you anything. I think I earn like maybe $5. I don't know. I haven't earned anything, so I don't know. Okay. My next whip is my Patriotic stitch for America's 250th. Now, this is just one. I mean, I know we've seen tons come out or coming out at market. I know the Plum Street one that the Attic is offering is available. I did email them, bless their heart. They were I read, and I don't know if this is accurate or not. I read that they were expecting about 400 to 500. They had over 2,000 orders. So I'm in the email list. I got an email back from them that said, we got your email. If you want the chart, call us, give us your credit card. I emailed them back and said, I'll let things calm down. I'm not in any rush. I've got plenty to stitch. I'm good. I like the chart. I'm not crazy about the border around that chart, but I mainly want it just because it's the 250 for commemoration. So if I get it, great. If I don't, you know, it is what it is. In 99 years, it's not gonna matter anyway, because I'm not gonna be here. But anyway, this is what I'm doing for our 250th. This was a dimensions kit. I bought it on eBay. It was from, I don't know what year, 2017. It's probably still available. And it came with a, I'm sure a 14 count Ada. I'm using Primitive Hairs We the People fabric. So this is where I'm at. Let me put something behind this. This fabric's really thin. There we go. This is where I'm at. So I'm getting there. I don't enjoy stitching on this fabric. It is, it's a very loose weave. It's very, I'm not I'm a fan of linen stitching. As a matter of fact, I just got rid of most all my linen fabric. I just don't like it. So when I remove it, see how thin this fabric is? But this is about the end of the piece right here. It may come down, that may be the end of it right there. And this is, it comes over maybe to right here. This is the side. So when I frame it, I will frame it so you can see the We the People. I'll come down here and I may put 1776 to 2026. I probably will stitch that down here in the bottom and then frame it. I hope to have it finished by May so I can get it framed and have it ready to hang up for 4th of July. I'd like to have it done, well, I think June 14th is Flag Day, so I'd like to have it done by then too. So anyway, I like it. Like I said, the fabric's not my favorite to stitch on. I do have to, I normally stitch in hand other than full coverage. This one I had to put in a Q-snap because I could not see the holes. It's a 30 count. I think this is a 30 count, but it's just a weird weave with all the print writing on it. I don't have good eyesight anyway. My vision's terrible. If you could see how thick my glasses are, you would know that. And they're kind of, I have, they change, you know, colors in the sun, and it's very sunny outside today. So even in my house, my glasses stay dark sometimes because my house is very bright, very beach bright. So there's that one. So I'm hoping, I think it's probably, I don't know how many stitches are left on this. I did put this in Markup RXP. I just scanned the paper chart. It didn't line up 100% correct, but it's good enough for me that I can use my iPad and mark it off. But I have, according to what Markup shows, I only have 3,000 stitches left. But I only work on it. I was trying to do 800 a month when I started it, so I would be through by May, but I'm lucky if I get 300 on it. It's just not, it's the fabric. So that's the second whip. Third whip is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with My Needle and Thread. We've all seen it. It's very pretty, beautiful. Pink house. No joke, it's a big house. But I had planned to stitch the house, fill in, and like where the snow is, fill in, so I'd have it for a retreat in April, but my retreat got canceled. I was trying to get into another one at the end of this month that's close to my house, and the hotel's booked up, so I knew I waited too late. I was waiting to see if my husband was going to have back surgery again, which he does not, thank goodness. Not right now, but anyway, I couldn't get in the retreat. Well, I could get in the retreat, but I couldn't get a hotel room, and it's too far. I could drive it back and forth, but it's like an hour and 20 minutes, but I don't want to do that for 3 days, so I guess I'll wait. I am going to Stitch Florida in June, so I've already registered for that. So if anybody's going to Stitch Florida, let me know, because I'm coming by myself, and it's only my second retreat, so I'll be there. Anyway, if I don't have this one finished, which I don't think I will, I'm going to try to have the house outlined and the snow outlined so I can fill in. You know, got to take something for fill in for retreats, because, you know, I've only been to one, but I've done, you know, like stitchy days with some friends and stuff. You don't get a whole lot of stitching done, and I don't want to have to be counting, because, you know, you can't count right when you're running your mouth, which I'm very good at. So this is where I'm at. I did change colors of the house. I don't know I don't remember what I changed it to, but I think conch was the called for, and it was too peachy, salmony color. So I changed this to something, I don't know. If you want to know, let me know and I will look it up, because I have it in my bag. I just can't get to it right now. So I got a lot of the border done. I got the front door, all the windows, and then I started on the house. So I'm going to go down now on each side of the house, go across. So that'll be ready for fill in, and then I'm going to start working on the snow. The snow color, I don't remember what's called for, but I don't have it in my floss. I guess I was going to order something different, use something different. I think it was kind of a creamy color, which I don't like creamy snow. I don't want yellow snow. I want white snow. So I tried a Versoix 103s, and this is on a 28 count. It wasn't thick enough. Even 2 strands was too sparse, so I pulled that out. And this is a green. It's blowing out, but it's called Sapphire or something by Witchell. I don't think it's going to show as a green, but it's a pale green. That's where I'm at. Very pretty. And the pink I'm using is a variegated. It doesn't, I don't think it shows up very good, but maybe a little bit. It's a variegated. I think it's called Seashelly. Hang on, maybe I do have it right here. Oh, Little Pink Peony, however you say that word. Peony is what I'm using. Pick it up. So it's variegated. See, I don't have a white on here and I don't think, what is that? Sandcastle? That wasn't the snow, I know. That's way too brown. So I don't have a white. So I guess I was going to use whatever I had in my stash, or B5200 or white or grits, but then I forgot to put it in here. So I've got to pull that because I want to get that started. This fabric that I'm using, like I said, it's 28 count. This is what I'm using. 28 count Jobelin Star Sapphire. And this came from Hobby Lobby a long time ago. They don't have this anymore. I think it was actually one of their clearance things I got. I got an extra pair of scissors in my bag. I was looking for those. I don't know where they were. Okay. All right, let me put this back up or I'll forget what bag it goes in. All right, my last whip that I worked on was Mill Hill the Christmas Village series. I don't know if you watch Amanda, the Lucky Chance Stitcher. I think, is it Lucky Chance? Lucky Chance, Lucky Chance. Yeah, Amanda, the Lucky Chance Stitcher. She's been working on hers for, I saw it the other day on Instagram, 6 years. 6 years. So she, back when I stitched back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you know, and all the teddy bears and geese and ducks and all that, you know, did all that. Lost interest, got rid of a lot of my stash, which I've told the story many times. When I came back to stitching in 2023, I think, it was after COVID, because I didn't come back to stitching during COVID. I did jigsaw puzzles during then because I was into that. But it didn't affect, the pandemic didn't affect me. I worked from home for the last 12 years, so it didn't affect me. I still got them worked every day. So anyway, when I came back to stitching, I don't remember exactly why I was looking for cross stitch something, but I was on Instagram and I ran across Amanda, the Lucky Chance Stitcher. I'll link her Instagram below, and she's got a YouTube, the Flosstube channel. I saw her Mill Hill Village. Oh my gosh. She had already stitched about 20 houses, I think, or somewhere, I don't know. I want to say now she's got 28. And she just said, I'm finished. So she got all the houses done, or buildings, whatever not houses, buildings, the town. And now she's ready to start beading. So that's what kind of brought me back to cross stitch. When I saw hers, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. Not knowing, you know, some of the Mill Hill kits were hard to find, you know, during the pandemic, things were scarce. I didn't know all that. I hadn't stitched in years, and I just started ordering in them, and I realized real quick, oh, some of these are hard to find. So I started, you know, stalking the D-Stash groups. I joined the Mill Hill Christmas Village group. There were people on there trying to sell them. I bought some from a lady over in England. Probably paid way too much for some of these, not from her, but some of these I'm sure I paid way too much for. But you know, when you want something, you know how it is. It's kind of like the Lady of the Flag patterns, depending on how bad you want it. So anyway, I am only, and when I started, I thought, oh, these are not very big. You know what? 6 inches by 6 inches. I could do one a month. Ha, 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 ha. Boy, was I delusional. This is number 2. And I started this in, hold on, 2024 maybe? Hold on. Mill Hill. Well, originally I started in 2024. So this is the second one, and this is what I'm working on right now, the bookshop. Oh, bookseller, excuse me. Get it right. I stitched the St. Nicholas Cathedral first on 32 count fabric. And I hated it. I didn't hate it. I didn't like how the metallics and beads were so tight. So I cut that one out. It's in my to be finished drawer over there. You can't see, you know, the whole stack, you know the finishes that you have that you hadn't finished or you hadn't fully finished. Cut it off the fabric, the 32 count, put the fabric back in my stash, decided that I'll do something else with it. It's pretty. It was real pretty. I just don't like how the beads were real chunky. So then I ordered this yard of fabric from Bestitch Me. And I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. So I restitched Cathedral. Now I'm on the bookseller. This is how big it'll be. That's a yard. I'm planning on stitching 6 across and 4 down. So it won't take up quite the entire yard. I did leave enough border at the top. There's a snowflake border that somebody charted. I don't know who it was. I'd have to go back and look in the Mill Hill group, but somebody charted a snowflake border to kind of frame the entire village if you wanted to once you stitch it. I don't know if I'll do that, but I did calculate enough space. I think the snowflake border would probably come to about right here, which would leave me, you know, roughly 3 inches to frame, but I don't know that I'll do that. But anyway, Amanda's is what brought me back to stitching, basically. When I saw that, I was like, I got to do that. But, you know, lofty goals of thinking I could do one a month, and it's been, you know, a year. It's actually been, I think it was 2024 when I started them sometime. So I did this one, and then, like I said, cut it out, changed fabrics, and then stitched it again, which I like it better. It's not as crowded. I'm just a 28 count girl. I like it. And then started this one in July of last year, and this is where I'm at now. I will finish this one I'm gonna try to finish it in February, maybe move to another one, just depends on if I get to it or not. And then I will bead all of them at the end. So hang on, let me fold this up. So this is where I'm at. They look so good. This one right here, I didn't use the called for Krynics. I couldn't find them. And well, let me take that back. You get them all in the kit. I couldn't replace them when I stitched this the first time because I didn't have enough of the original kit metallics or Krynics or whatever they were. I didn't have enough. So I just pulled out DMC metallics here, here, here for the stained glass. And when it, you know, there's purple, blue, pink, I just pulled out a metallic DMC or other metallics. I even have some metallic machine embroidery thread I think I used. I bought it at Joann when they were going out of business. I doubled it, worked fine. It's not as thick as Krynic and it's not as kinky. You know how when you're stitching with Krynic it kinks? This did not do that. So it was much better. So going forward, if I have any metallics, if I don't like what's in the kit, I'll just use my own. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't take me 6 years to do this, but it probably will. It might take me longer than 6 years, so we'll just keep going. That fabric is 28 count. Hold on, I'll tell you what the name of it is. 28 count Lunar by Bestitch Me. And when I found it, I had emailed Brandy and I said, I need a gray, yard of gray, 28 count, what you got? And she said, I got 2 ready to ship in stock. She said, what color? I said, pick one and send it to me, I don't care. So she sent me a picture of that and she was like, this one is kind of the equivalent, and I don't remember what DMC color she sent. And I was like, perfect, send it to me. So I paid her and sent it to me. Okay, was that my last whip? Yep, that was my last whip. I do have a fully finished. I didn't tell you that at the beginning. I finished my blessing sampler the first couple days of January because it was a very tiny chart. I showed it on my first video of this month. I don't remember, a couple videos back. It's a Lizzie Kate Live Simply, and I did fully finish it. So here's my fully finish. Very simple finish. And I'll show you the back in just a second. This frame is a hoop frame from Joann when they went out of business. I bought, I think 4 of them. It's a 6-inch round. It's just plain wood. You can paint these. You can, I'm sure you could stain them, but you could paint them. It doesn't have glass. You could probably get a piece of glass cut for it if you wanted it, but for this, it wasn't necessary. I changed some of the colors on these just based on what I had. But to use this frame, it's just a hoop frame. Don't look at, you know, my messy back, it's laced. I put it in a hoop. I did put some warm and natural batting behind it because this fabric is very thin. So if you look closely, you can kind of see the white reflection behind it. But anyway, I put warm and natural quilt batting behind it, laced it, and you see my lacing is not neat. I don't care. Who's gonna see the back? I don't care. If you see the back and you say, ooh, that's messy, I don't care. Now, I could have covered the back with a piece of felt. I didn't care. But this works. This is very easy. You just pop these little tabs open and take your hoop out. And frame it. So it's very easy to use this one's a 6-inch, and it's, you know, you can see it kind of, you got a little give in there in case you need to, you know, in case you didn't get it centered in your hoop just right, or, you know, you swish it around some. Excuse me. So very easy, very interchangeable. And you just push those little tabs down, and there you have it. Very simple. And it looks great. And I think I have 3 more of these that I don't know what I'll do with them. I'll frame something in them, but I really liked this. So that was my blessing sampler for 2026. This was the first year I'd ever done blessing sampler. My hair's driving me crazy today, y'all. So that was my FFO. Okay, I think that's all of my whips and finishes. I do have some haul. If you watched my last video, you'll see the piles of vintage haul that I acquired. Some I acquired from my aunt, and some I bought from a lady on Facebook Marketplace. She was so sweet. I got to her house to pick it up. She had 3 totes, like Rubbermaid giant totes. Heavy. You know, y'all know how heavy these charts are. She said she came out of the house. Her daughter was probably my age, maybe a little older, and the lady I bought it from was older. You know, she was probably in her mid-80s. Said she couldn't see any longer. She said, I stitched every day of my life till I couldn't see. And I said, well, I'm going to go through, get what I want. I said, I am going to sell some of this. And she's like, oh, honey, you just do whatever you want to with it. It's your stash now. So I told her, I said, I'll pass some of the stash. I'm going to sell some of it, which I have sold some already. If you follow me on Facebook, I've done some in the D-stash groups. But I have 4 totes of stash. A lot of it is older. A lot of it is teddy bears and geese and, you know, quotes that are all backstitched that, you know, some people like that, which is fine. That's great. Some of this stuff, I know it'll never be, most people are not going to purchase that unless it's, you know, $1, that's probably what it's going to be. It's all going to be $1. Not all of it, but a lot of it will be. But anyway, I did pick out what I wanted to keep from it. And now of all those huge stacks they were all here on this table, plus this table back here. A lot of it was magazines. Just Cross Stitch Magazine, Cross Stitcher, For the Love of Cross Stitch, Cross Quick, Leisure Arts. I picked out a couple of the magazines I wanted. There were no Prairie Schooler charts. I already had somebody ask me that. There were very few, there were no ornament magazines, like other than the older Just Cross Stitch magazines that have ornaments in them. So there was none of the specialty ornaments. It looks like the lady stopped buying and stopped subscribing to magazines around 2000. So they're all 25 years or older. So some of them they go back to 1983, which is the year I graduated from high school. But these are the ones I kept. I don't know that I'll ever stitch some of these, but some of them I just thought they were pretty. Some of them I've never seen before. So this one, and I'm just going to go through these quick. I'm not going to go. There's like, this must be somebody's like art prints. Oh, Linda Myers. She was an artist. I remember my mom was an interior designer when I was growing up, and all through, you know, till she retired, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And I remember having her her artwork. So this one is Rubies and Lace, and then Daisy's Luck, which I like that. Both of those are Linda Myers art. This one, I don't know. It looked like, this one's 1983, Pam Mullins Designs. Acadiana, I don't know what that means, but I just thought that was interesting. It kind of looks like cypress trees, like a Louisiana swamp, and then you got your lobster down there. I don't know. I haven't read it to see if there's what the significance of, and well, there's nothing in here. Okay, I don't know what that, but anyway, I just liked it. You know, guy stuff. I like the deer at the top. There's a few fish in here, some ducks. Covered bridges. I was looking for, there's a covered bridge named after my maiden name in Blount County, Alabama. But none of these are that bridge that I could tell. My mom has somebody painted the bridge and it's hanging at my mom's house. But I like the covered bridges. More covered bridges, barns, houses. We all like barns and houses, or I do. This one's antique postcards, you know, like you'd see at a flea market or an antique shop. Like these down here that have all the pretty Victorian flowers and stuff. So somebody has recreated these in cross stitch. Thought that was kind of interesting. I've never seen this one before. I really like the sailboat. Good and Country by Gloria and Pat. This is like, you know, crocks and pottery, and not sure that I'll ever stitch that, but I thought it was kind of cute. This one is wildlife close up. I like those small round ones. So the front of the chart looks like this, but I like the back ones better. So there's a little owl, there's a koala bear, a squirrel, a raccoon, a fox, a deer. They kind of remind me of Cottage Garden Samplings, Year of the Woods, or whatever the animal series is called. They kind of have that flair to it, but they are, of course, these are smaller. But I just thought they were so cute. So I thought, well, I'll keep that one. Life is a Zoo. That pink flamingo with a top hat is everything. So I will be stitching him at some point in my life. I don't know when, but this one's, never seen this one either. Thought this was pretty. I like the top one better, the best one. That was pretty. More barns and houses, bridges, meals. I like them. Victorian houses. I think one of these, this barn right here says Prattville, Alabama. That's where my mom lives. My brother lives. So I thought that was interesting. I may stitch that for my brother for his office. I need to ask him if he knows where it's at. This one, I like the little shorebirds. This one has shells. I'm a beach girl. I live in Florida. I live at the beach. I don't live on the beach, but I live on the bay. I've never seen this 12 Days of Christmas before. It's like an insert. It's, you know, very thin. Never seen this one before, so. That one. And the last one is a Stony Creek Christmas. I think there was one in the middle. Oh, that right there, that lamb and the cardinal following the star. That's so sweet. And then the Dove of Peace. I like that. So that was the vintage haul that I kept from the lady that I bought from Facebook Marketplace. I got Max Pigeon book. Everybody's seen this probably. Max Pigeon from Pigeon Coop. Helen D has stitched several of his. Laura at Stitching by the Shore has stitched some. I wished I'd have marked the ones that I didn't think about marking it. I don't know. Laura stitched that one, I know. And I like that one too. Laura lives in Delaware on the beach, or at the beach too. The fox is cute. So I got this book. He's got a new book coming out. It's Ocean, so I will be ordering it. But I don't think it's gonna be out till like September. I saw it on Amazon. You can, you know, pre-order it, but I'll wait till it comes out. But I got his book. And then the last vintage haul that I got, this was from my aunt. My aunt lives a couple hours from me, and she was cleaning out, getting rid of, she had some water damage on floors, so she's having to clean up bedrooms so she can get new flooring. Anyway, she cross-stitched. She's my mother, one of my mother's younger sisters, so she's not that much older than me. I think maybe 12 years. So we had a lot in common. Growing up, when I was growing up, you know, when she was a teenager, I was like 8 and she was like 20 maybe. So she was like the cool aunt, you know, which she still is. But anyway, she told me, she said, get all this cross-stitch stuff, I don't want more. So I went through a lot of hers. She is a smoker. A lot of it did smell like smoke. And I told her, I said, I don't know if I can get the smell out. And some of it I couldn't, some of it I just had to throw away, which is fine. She understood that. But I did keep one thing that she stitched, and I've washed it, and I did get the smell out. So this is the chart. I can still smell it in the chart just a little bit. I put it outside. I'm gonna put it outside tonight because it's supposed to be really, really cold. That's if I can get the smell out. It's almost musty smelling, not because it's been packed in boxes in her attic. But anyway, she stitched spring and winter. She said she thought she probably stitched the other two, but we couldn't find it. But I brought them home and I washed them. And I think I'm going to frame them and give them back to her. She doesn't know that yet. So there's winter. I love it. It's so cute. Now she stitched it on 14 count. Cream colored Ada back in the day. I don't know the year of this. Probably, I'm sure it's 80s. If I had to guess. Oh, 1990, excuse me. Long time ago. 36 years ago. So anyway, it's not showing up. It's really kind of I think it's an antique or ivory Ada. It's very yellow. I washed it. I soaked it in Dawn dishwashing, and I don't smell any smoke on it now. So that's winter. And here's spring. So they're so cute. She did backstitch the bunny in 2 strands. He's very thick. So cute though. So these two, winter and spring, they're so cute. This one's got a stain on it right there. I couldn't get it out. I'm gonna put a little Tide stick on it and see if I can get it out. But these are just washed. I soaked them in Dawn dishwashing. None of the colors ran. I'm sure she stitched them with DMC. I let them soak for a couple days. Wrung them out in a towel, laid them out flat, and just laid them on a towel and let them dry for like a week. Didn't move them, so I haven't ironed them or anything. So I don't know. She may not want them back, but I'm going to get them. I think I'm going to get them framed anyway. And if she wants them back, I'll give them to her. If not, I'll keep them. So, but I think this is probably my favorite. I don't know why, because I don't like wintertime. I don't like cold, but it's so cute. Maybe this will be my thumbnail. Maybe YouTube will cooperate. We'll see. But anyway, okay, that's all of my haul. All my finishes, all of my whips, and I have a couple plans. So this year I'm doing Whip Go 2 boards. One board is ornaments only, and oh, let me get my iPad. So if you don't know what Whip Go is, go look at Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She gives you the lowdown on what Whip Go is. So I put 25 ornaments. Where'd I get 12? 25 ornaments on my Whip Go board. She called the numbers early. So this is the first one I'm doing. This is the Tiny Modernist. Yeah, Tiny Modernist, the Woodsy Wreath. Excuse me. This was exclusive to the Jingle Ball. So if you did not go to the Jingle Ball, I don't know if it'll come out at market, but I got it at the Jingle Ball. I am going to change the color of the house to just one color instead of a variegation. Excuse me. Hold on before I choke to death. So, since it's such a small ornament, I don't like that splotchy color house. I'm going to just change it all to probably the red that's in the berries. So that's the first ornament. The second one that was called for my Whip Go board is Peppermint Frost by Annie B's. This was from the Jingle Ball. I don't know if it's available or if it's coming out at market, but I got it at the Jingle Ball. So that's my 2 ornaments that I will start February 1st. And then my second Whip Go board is New Starts. I already had several things kitted up, so I went through my stash. I kitted up 25 projects for my New Starts, and I've also added a few more on there because I'm gonna have a new start for my birthday in March, and whenever else I want a new start. I'm just gonna start whenever I want to, but I also want to have 24 new starts, because I think I left the middle one blank on the Whip Go board on the New Starts. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the board. Anyway, I'm gonna have 2 new starts every month and 2 ornaments every month. And then if I want to start other ones in the middle, I'm going to start them. I don't care. I'm start all the things. So the first one is Heart and Hand, Tiny Town for Valentine's. This actually did not get called on Whip Go. So the one that did get called that I had on there, I didn't have the fabric for it, so I had to swap. So it's my rules. It's my board, my rules is what Jessie Marie says. So I changed it. So I'll be starting this, and I'm going to start it on, is it going to show up green? This is the same fabric. It's kind of green. You can kind of see green. It's the same fabric I'm doing the Winter Rose Manor on. Excuse me. So that will be a new start in February. I will probably start this one February 1st. I don't know why my throat's so dry. And then my last new start for February will be spring. Seasons of the Heart. Excuse me. Spring. And I'm doing this on a green color too. It's called Ocean Sand by Atomic Ranch. Yeah, hang on. I just dropped everything. Take it out of the plastic, sorry. It's kind of a sea foam with some sand color in it. Ocean sand, that's exactly what it looks like. So that's what color, that's the color I'm using for spring. And I just dropped on the floor. Spring. So I may have to change the color of the door. That's kind of an aqua. If it's too ghosty, which it shouldn't be because the house is real ghosty on this. I think it'll show up fine on this. So that's my new start for another one for February. And I think that's all. I will tell you sort of a recap from end of January. I put in 18,061 stitches in January. That's a lot for me. Normally, before I retired, I was getting anywhere from 9 to 10,000. So I did 18,000. So I've pretty much doubled my stitches in January. So I hope I keep that up for the rest of the year. Shout out to Jackie. What's Jackie's channel? I just watched it this morning. Jackie, what is your channel? Hold on. Oh Lord, what is, I'll link it below, but cross my stitches. What is her channel? Good grief. Cross my stitches, yes. Sorry, Jackie. I just watched you this morning. We were just chatting. So Jackie gave me a shout out. Appreciate it. I've also watched the Huga Stitcher, which I know a lot of people watch her. I've also watched Sarah Stitchery. The Sleepy Stitcher, if you don't watch Lacey, she's so cute. The 310 Stitcher, Jade, she has a lot of full coverage. Floss, Paper, Scissor, Julie and Catherine are mother and daughter. I love them. They're so funny. I crack up every time I watch them. Love them. Lost Our Needles, Allie and Amy, a mother and daughter duo. Love to watch them. We stitch a lot of, well, I'll say a lot. We have a few of the same things we're stitching, but my daughter's name is Allie also, so I kind of have a little soft spot for both of them. So mother-daughter with a daughter named Allie, I have to watch them. So that's who I've been watching lately. Oh, So Me Sarah, if you don't watch her, she's across the pond. The 911 Stitcher, she had extensive shoulder surgery, bicep repair surgery, bless her heart. Stacy, she is stitching one arm and she's doing great, but she said it's been a challenge. I don't know how she's doing it. She looks very uncomfortable, but she made a floss tube and she said she taught herself how to stitch one-handed, so more power to her. So that's who I've been watching. If you need more floss tubes to watch, just check out the links below and I will have them linked. If you're here for the stitching, that's all there is. I don't have very much life update. I did mention retreats earlier. I was planning to go to a retreat in April, got canceled. And there's a retreat in the end of February, and I know it's just 3 weeks away. So I emailed the host and said, can you squeeze me in? Of course she said yes. She's so sweet. But I called the hotel and they don't have any rooms. So I missed out on that one too. And it's, like I said, it's only about an hour and 20 minutes. Not even that far. Hour and 15 minutes away. I went last year. That was the first retreat I'd ever been to. I went last year. It was a lot of fun. Freezing cold. But I didn't sign up for it this year. I was originally going to be out of town, and that kind of fell through. It was kind of a tentative plan, so that kind of fell through. So I had meant to sign up, and my husband had back surgery 18 months ago, and his back has really bothered him the last 7 or 8 months. His mom passed away in November, but she fell back in May of 2025. She fell. Didn't think it hurt her, but when you get somebody that's in their 80s, they fall. That's usually one of the things that they decline pretty quickly if they're in semi bad health. And she was very bad diabetic. She had UTIs, she'd already declined some. So my husband, being retired, his mom lived in Georgia. His sister still works. His mom lived with his sister. And it was easier for him to go to Georgia to stay with her 3 days a week while my sister-in-law worked. So he would drive up on one day, stay 3 days, and then drive back home the next day. So he was pretty much gone 5 days from May of last year until October. And my mother-in-law broke her hip, fell again in August, broke her hip. Hospice sent her home, sent her home on hospice at that point. My sister-in-law was still working. She's a nurse. So, you know, she's 12-hour shifts, and she was driving an hour and a half one way to work. And my husband finally said, you know, this is wearing all of us out. I'm just going to move Mama down to Florida with me. You can get, you know, talking to his sister, he said, you can get some rest on your off days. You come see her when you want to. He said, I'll bring her back up here some. He said, but it'll just be easier on all of us. Fine. Everybody was agreeable, moved her down here, and she passed away 2 weeks later. So where I'm going with this, though, is when he was staying with her from May until October, she wasn't bedridden, but she needed a lot of help. She couldn't get around by herself. So he was basically having to get her from a bed, help her get out of the bed into a wheelchair, roll her to the bathroom, let her use the restroom, help her get, you know, she could bathe herself, but he had to help her get into the shower. So help her get in, then reverse it all back and get her back into we had her in a hospital bed at that point. It was just easier. As things progressed, she started, you know, of course, declining more, in and out of the hospital, UTIs, back to back to back to back. Sent her home on IV antibiotics. He was trying to give her those, or he was giving her those. So it was just, she lost a lot of mobility and muscle tone and all that stuff at that point. He was basically having to pick her up out of the bed, put her in the wheelchair, roll her to the bathroom, put her on the toilet, and then reverse it when she got finished with her business. His back was aggravated. He thought he damaged the hardware where he'd had his fusion. He'd had L4 and L5, a fusion done 18 months ago. He thought he damaged it because he was really picking her up. And I saw it several times when I would go up there to, you know, help out and visit on the weekends when I was working still. And then when she came down here the last 2 weeks of her life, I would get off work, even though I work at home, and I would walk into her bedroom, and it was pretty much 24/7. Somebody had to be right there with her, or she was trying to get out of the bed. The dementia had set in at that point. She was trying to get out of the bed. So it took both of us at that point, and he really aggravated his back. So long story. We went to the orthopedic doctor yesterday, the neurosurgeon that did his back. They did imaging. His hardware's fine, thank goodness. He was really worried about it, and I was too, and he was very stressed about it. So hardware looks good. He does have a slipped disc above where they did his surgery, which is, we knew it was there, didn't think it was bad, but spinal fusion surgery can create that, and the neurosurgeon told us, you know, you got these two fixed, I can fix this level, but once I fix this level, this one up here could do the same thing. That hardware kind of pushes on your vertebrae, and it makes the disc bulge out. So it can create more problems the further you go up your back. So he told my husband, he said, if you can deal with the pain, you know, if you're making it, he said, now if you're living on narcotics and you can't walk, we need to fix it. And my husband's not even on narcotics. He doesn't take any pain medicine. He does take anti-inflammatories and Celebrex. He takes things like that, but he's making it fine. So he said, no, right now, he's getting an epidural every 3 months. So he said, let's just keep doing the epidural. And the neurosurgeon told him, he said, the next epidural you get, he said, since your back has rested and repaired and had time to heal, since your mom passed away in November, up until now, he said, you've had, 8 good weeks of really resting your back and letting it heal. He said, hopefully the next epidural you get could really calm down that inflammation. And he said, that might take care of it for several years. He said, now I think at some point you'll have to have another back surgery. He said, but let's just watch and see. So I was very thankful he didn't have to have back surgery. So with all that story, like you really care, I missed the sign up for the retreat in February. So that's okay. I was trying to wait to see because he was having to have back surgery. He was like, we're getting it done. We're getting it over with. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's your decision. But he doesn't have to have it, but I still missed the retreat. Of course, Ann said she'd get me in, and I appreciate it. She said, I have a slot. I can put you in, but the hotel was booked up. So I could stay at the hotel next door. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't call them. But I just decided, I don't want to inconvenience anybody. So I'll just wait till June when I go to Stitch, Florida for the next retreat. So that's kind of my life update. You know, a lot of rambling there. I hope everybody stays warm. If you're in this cold climate, if you're getting more snow and more ice, I hope your power stays on. I think that's all I've got. So I hope everybody has a great stitchy week. I don't know if I'll be back at the end of next week. It just depends on what I get done. I do like making monthly videos because I can kind of like look at a month at a glance, but I mean, I can do that on my last two. I don't know if I'll do weekly. It's a lot of work to do a weekly video. So yeah, those of you who do weekly videos, I admire you because it is a lot of work. It rolls around quick. So I don't know if I'll do weekly or bi-weekly. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, have a good stitchy week or two, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.